Welcome back, guys. Week 2 is in the books. Hopefully, your fantasy team did better than mine. So we're at it again. Let's take a look at some more matchups for Week 3 in the NFL. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and start off with Isaiah Crowell. Now, while he is in a running back rotation with Duke Johnson, Crowell has put up good numbers over the last 2 games, having a combined 30 attempts for 195 yards and 2 TDs. While being in a rotation hurts his fantasy value, it was shown last week that the Browns are committed to running the ball with Crowell. This week, Crowell is going up against a Dolphin defense that has given up the 8th most points to running backs this season and was shredded by LeGarrette Blount for 123 yards and a touchdown. Combine that with the Browns having to start a third quarterback in as many weeks, expect Crowell to see a heavy workload as they try to protect another quarterback. Next one up is Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is off to a strong start this season, having 81 yards in each of his last 2 games, along with already having 3 TDs, and is primed for another strong showing against a Buffalo defense that has currently allowed the 4th most points to wide receivers this year and allowed 3 Jets receivers to top 90 yards last week. Expect Fitzgerald to add another touchdown and continue his strong start this season, and allowed 3 Jets receivers to top 90 yards last week, meaning any of the 3 receivers, Brown, Floyd, or Fitzgerald, could be a play in this Cardinals offense. Expect Carson Palmer to air it out often and these receivers to get some separation. So expect Fitz to have another touchdown and continue the strong start to his season. Julio Jones. Jones cracked 100 yards and only 5 targets last week and should find plenty of space against a Saints defense that is depleted by injuries and allowed 350 passing yards to the Giants last week. And in week 1, allowed 319 yards to the Raiders. Expect Jones to have a big day against a depleted Saints defense that has surrendered the 3rd most points to wide receivers this season. And going against the Saints, it tends to be a track meet and Matt Ryan to really air it out. So Julio should be in for another good week this week. Rashad Jennings. Jennings faces a Redskins defense that ranks 2nd in points given up to running backs this season. And while the Giants' run game will probably take a backseat to the passing attack this week, with Sterling Shepard and Victor Cruz and Odell Beckham all showing that they can be valuable wide receiver targets, even though the matchup isn't that great because you do have Josh Norman roaming out there in the secondary, it's worth noting that this is a favorable matchup for Jennings. Whether it's running the ball or catching passes out of the backfield, he will get his touches and could turn in a good game. Melvin Gordon. The Chargers have been hit pretty hard by the injury bug this season, losing both Allen and Woodhead. Their offense is missing key weapons, which means players are going to have to step up. Who better than Melvin Gordon this week going up against the Colts defense that has allowed the most points to running backs this year and has allowed 125 yards of rushing per game this year. Gordon rushed for 102 yards on 24 attempts and 1 TD last week, and Gordon will continue to see growth in production due to the injuries this year. He's going to be out on the field more with Danny Woodhead out, and they're going to need him in the passing game with Allen out. Gordon has a favorable matchup this week, and with the injuries the Chargers have sustained, look for his role to grow going forward. Aaron Rodgers. While Rodgers has started the year out with mediocre performances, he could be set for a breakout performance against this Lions defense. Has allowed 296 passing yards per game and has allowed 6 touchdowns just through these first 2 weeks. In the past 2 weeks, Rodgers has had right around 200 yards of passing. I think it was 197 week 1 and 213 week 2, but he's also had 3 total touchdowns. So it's not out of the question that Rodgers could have a really great game against the Lions defense that has given up the most points to quarterbacks this season. Okay, guys, that is our week 3 fantasy matchup outlook. These guys should perform pretty well. Go ahead and drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think of these videos, guys, and we'll see you again for week 4.